A photo journey for me is just to document the people I meet, try and find out a bit about their background, their maybe family history or their work as well. The small details that make up someone's life is what I'm interested by.
Tim Bonsley, an Australian photojournalist based in Hanoi, is now traveling to Hưng Yên, the adjacent province of the capital city. This journey will take him through local heritage to see which is embedded in its culture. Coming to Hưng Yên for the first time, what will inspire the photographer during his trip? Tim's first destination in Hưng Yên province is Tất Viên hamlet in Tiền Lữ district, some 60 kilometers from Hanoi. He has Tú, a young university graduate who is also interested in photography as a travel mate. They visit a household which specializes in making bamboo fish traps.
Craft is very strong and it's a very big feature in Vietnamese culture. You see it as a visitor to Vietnam. It's very popular because we're exposed to things that you don't see in your home country, for example Australia, or if you're a visitor from America or France. I think there's a long history which comes through in the craft. Is this one for the cá or cua?
Đây là cái nơm, cái để úp cá. Khi có cá, cho tay vào đây để bắt được con cá, bỏ vào cái giỏ này.
And how about this one? How does it work?
Cái đó này là 2 hôm. Bây giờ thì là mang ra ruộng là đơm. Thì đây là cái chúm nắp vào cái đó này. Khi mà cái nước chảy thì cá, cua nằm trong cái đó, còn tôm vào cái chúm. Đây là đánh dậm, đánh ở ngoài cừ. Thế là đánh dậm như này là cái bập này để dặn để lừa tôm cá nó vào cái dậm.
Fish traps are almost universal, but they have specific shapes according to local conditions and the behavior of the local fish. Those in Hưng Yên province are specific to Vietnam and are used mostly in the provinces located in the Red River Delta.
Tháng 6 vừa rồi đấy, là cái lúc ấy là cái lúc đó bán thì chạy lắm. Đấy, như thế là đi mua mà còn khi không có đó. Nhất mà nước nột mà khi bắt đầu rút đây cứ phải hàng 6-7 nghìn một chiếc đó đấy.
In Tất Viên hamlet, it is the tradition that everyone can make fish traps from bamboo. The average time for making a product is 15 to 20 minutes. Look at their agile hands. How can they master the technique?
Khi bố mẹ đẻ ra, bố mẹ cũng đan đó. Ông bà cụ kỵ nhà tôi cũng đan đó. Còn đến bây giờ thì bà cụ tôi đẻ tôi ra thì cứ đến 5 tuổi thì đã bắt học. Thế đến khi lên 10 lên trước thì cũng biết đan đó.
Nước sáng lên chiều cạn.
There is a step in the process of making fish traps that not everyone can do well.
Đầu tiên là quay chén ăn xong là phơi xong rồi đưa vào trong bếp để hun.
So does it strengthen it? Or how do you mean smoother?
Hun để đơm đó cho nó bền, nước nó chảy coi thế là nhanh, nó không bị rêu bám. Làm cái nghề này là nó phải chuyên tu, nó chịu được khói. Chứ nếu người không làm quen thì không thể hun được.
Cái này thì ông phải làm thường xuyên việc này không hả ông?
Cái việc này chúng tôi làm thường xuyên, đa số là hun ban đêm, ban ngày thì là ít hun thôi.
Been in here for 5 minutes and I can hardly see. Very, very difficult on the eyes. The chest not so bad, but still a little bit strong. But the eyesight very hot and very sticky on the eyes. I can't see so well. Wow.
Đấy, tôi làm cái nghề nó quen rồi, coi thế là nắm nan rất là đẹp.
It's the only way to do it. You can't do it with the colored dye or something like the brown color.
Cái này chỉ có làm được thế này mới có cái màu này thôi không nhỉ?
Chỉ có hun khói thì nó nan nó mới đẹp, nó mới bền.
My favorite part about working in Vietnam is the people. I love the landscape, I love the food, I love the culture, and the history is fascinating, but my primary love is the people. I think the people are very welcoming, very warm and beautiful and wonderful to photograph.
Ê, ngon quá. Gà này quay thế là nuôi là dạy nó được, thế nó gáy được, nó vỗ cánh được. Đấy. Cô 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 có nhà không? Đấy, nó gáy gáy.
Cái gà này bao nhiêu tuổi đấy?
Con gà này trên 3 năm rồi. Nuôi nó là quay thế này chỉ có tôi cho ăn là được, người khác cho ăn là không nghe. Mời anh hút đu thuốc cùng với nhà quê, hút vào là say.
I declined because I thought it could be too strong for me. But as he had it, I could see him relaxing and his eyes rolled back in his head a bit. I could see him unwind and release from all the pressure of working so hard. The actual defining moment of the shot which I treasure is just as he exhaled. There's a small stream of smoke, and just after the stream is like a little bloom, it's a little cloud. And yeah, I took that image, and as soon as I downloaded and did some editing, I knew I had a fantastic photo. It's my favourite photo of him, without a doubt. I observed him making the different traps. We were lucky enough that he gave me the experience of going to use the traps, which was something interesting because it's great to see them in a shop shelf or at the market, but if you don't know actually how they work, it's not so interesting. We went down to a small pond and used the different traps. There was one which was a large, almost like a broom, but with a shape of a bowl sort of thing, which you almost dug with and scooped the fish in the pond towards the trap. There was a piece of bamboo we'd use with our foot to try and drive the fish into the trap, and then you could go through and sift through, see if you had a fish or maybe the freshwater crab or something like this.
Trong một dụ dỗ thế này,
Nothing
để
yet.
bắt tôm bắt cá.
Nothing yet. I have a go?
Yes, sir. Ngày xưa ông bắt được nhiều cá không?
Ngày xưa bắt được nhiều lắm, quay càng mưa càng nhiều cá. Và ngày nay thì nó ít đi thôi.
What's the biggest fish you ever catch in this net, this method?
Ông con cá to nhất ông từng bắt là
Đừng bắt nào có 1 cân.
chắc phải từ ngày xưa ông nhỉ?
Từ ngày xưa.
Bây giờ chắc là I won't touch that. I will touch some fish.
Success! Go on.
Do you want to try to catch one of the crab yourself?
Sure. Sure, let's do it.
Let's do it.
So how do you think about this job?
It's great, interesting, but it's a bit of hard work in the full sun.
Yeah.
Sweating a lot, but it's okay because I'm in the water, so cooling down a little bit. But for a few little fish so far, yeah, it's a lot of work. But interesting to learn the tradition. Great fun, great fun. Learning a lot because it's nothing like I ever do in Australia.
Mr. Bak said in the past there were many small ponds like this in the villages of Hưng Yên and the surrounding provinces. However, due to the urbanization progress, many have been converted into lands and houses. Less water, less fish, not many fish trap trader like him maintain the job. Bak said he still keeps the job as it has become a major part in his living and lifestyle.
Năm 13 tuổi bắt đầu tôi theo, tức là các ông chú, thế rồi thì là ông bác, thì anh em đi chợ đó, đi bộ đội về thì đất nề quê thói thì coi lại tiếp tục là coi thế là lại đi chợ đó. Đi bên đó này nói chung là mưa là gánh nặng, mà gió đi là vất vả. Thế mà thuận buồm xuôi gió thì chén chú chén anh.
He was a wonderful, wonderful old man, still at 84 years of age, to be working so hard, and physically he was very fit, very strong, and still very muscly when we moved around, and he took the fishing traps on the bike. Yeah, it was just a joy to be around him and to have a small piece of access to his lifestyle. I think the heritage is still carried on with people. You can see it every day wherever I go. There's always a strong link to the past here.
Located 30 kilometers east of Hanoi, no village in Đại Đồng Commune, Vân Lâm district of Hưng Yên is considered one of the oldest villages in Vietnam. The village now still treasures famous heritage. Legend has it that the Gnome Pagoda was situated in the midst of a pine forest when it was first built in 1680 during the Lê Dynasty. It became famous as the biggest pagoda in the north.
It was a massive area with beautiful architecture and probably the biggest pagoda I'd been to in my whole time in Vietnam. There was lots of incense, of course, burning in I'm not sure of the name of it, but in front of the main temple where you walked in, which was cast from bronze and had dragons and lots of interesting detail on there.
Trong chùa hiện nay còn lưu giữ lại được rất là nhiều những cái vốn, những pho tượng cổ quý. Đó, đặc biệt là tượng là toàn bộ là bằng đất hết, tổng cộng là lớn nhỏ là 122 pho.
Terracotta for the tiles, is that all sourced from the local area?
Bên cạnh đây là cả một cái khu vực họ đào đất, từ thời xưa đào đất ở tại đây và họ làm thành những pho tượng, ở tại đây. Hồi năm 97 thì nhân dân và nhà chùa vừa mới san lấp thôi.
How about the preservation? How does the monks or the people of the village maintain the whole complex, the temple?
Những ngôi chùa cổ và ngôi chùa gỗ cổ thì bao giờ cũng sợ nhất là nước mưa. Thì cái quan trọng nhất là mình làm sao cho không để nước mưa vào. Là cái đấy là cái bảo tồn tốt nhất. Mà đặc biệt trong đây cũng là tượng đất. Mà tượng đất thì sợ nhất vẫn là nước mưa. Thì cái bảo tồn chính thức là để cho mưa nó khỏi bị dột ngấm.
As soon as you get out the front gate of the pagoda is the actual market of the town, which was, I could see was very old as well. It was nice to see a traditional market still housed in a beautiful old structure, even though it was falling to pieces in lots of ways. You could see from the rain or the wind and the weather had carved out some of the bricks and had turned them into interesting shapes like spirals, when before, of course, they were a perfect column.
Tim can wander around and hardly to be noticed because there are so much happenings in the market. And even if people notice a foreigner with a camera in his hands, they often give him smiles. Tim finds it is interesting with a shoot of a young girl sitting on a motorbike with big helmet.
She had an interesting gaze, a connection. I have no idea what she thought of me, but it wasn't a smiling connection. It wasn't a really joyous photo, but it was an interesting moment of concentration where she was this lovely, lovely little girl, and the helmet was a little bit too big while she was waiting for her dad, who was shopping at the market. And I managed to get an image with a large lens which compresses the background a little bit, and yeah, it was a beautiful moment, and I really like it.
Although the pagoda and the market survived the destruction of time, there is one thing at the Nome village that has sadly gone into oblivion.
Làng Nôm nhà chúng tôi là ngày xưa các cụ có câu ca dao là đồng nát thì về cầu Nôm, con gái lở mồm về ở với cha. Thường thì các cụ đi cứ gom góp tất cả các nơi đồng nát là về đây, tụ tập về đây xong rồi đem đi lên để đúc. Ngày xưa là các cụ cũng có một cái bãi đúc. Thế nhưng bây giờ thì các cụ có nghĩa là không làm nữa rồi mà chỉ cái làng rồng, bây giờ họ vẫn đúc đỉnh các thứ đấy.
Some kilometers away from Nome village, Long Thượng village in Hưng Yên province has still maintained the production of bronze products. Visiting the village today, one can see the busy shops polishing and showcasing various traditional items, including tripod cauldrons, incense burners, and flower vases. Inside a shop, Tim finds his interest in the bronze statue of Uncle Ho, which is really a fine craft. He then has learned that recently, some people in the village have also focused in statue casting, as it is a new way of doing business. Tim and Du decided to visit a workshop to see what it has to offer.
The thing that struck me the most in the factory was the old busts of the people which had commissioned the statues of deceased relatives or maybe someone else famous where they wanted for their house. And the old busts, which were the remnants, the old remains of the mould, were all across shelves in the shed, and the lighting was very dark, and these busts really stood out at me. It was almost like the people were still there, still alive. Not even in a ghost form, but actually just still there was this amazing presence. And yeah, it was fantastic.
According to the young artisan, the craft is his family trade for generations. His grandfather, who has passed away not long time ago, is the one who inspired other members of the family.
Ông tôi ấy thì cũng rất là yêu nghề. Ông làm đến tận năm 80 tuổi cơ, ông mới bắt đầu mới nghỉ. Các cụ ngày xưa là đúc nồi đồng và lư đồng đấy. Thì là đến thế hệ của tôi bây giờ thì là tôi phát huy bước đi mới là tôi đúc tượng chân dung và đúc tượng vật để đổi mới tư duy cái làng nghề phải phát triển ngày càng phát triển hơn.
I think it's interesting to see a modern twist, even though it's still traditional methods that they're using to create things, but it's maybe a more of a modern business sense that the son is using to capture the market and to try and expand the business.
In the past, fire was used to polish bronze products, but now the work can be done with machines. This is an innovation in the craft village. However, some parts of these crafts still require a lot of time and effort.
Vất vả nhất là cái lúc mà mình đúc, thì lúc mà nấu đồng nó lên hơn 1000 độ là đứng gần rất là nóng. Đổ đồng nó rơi vào tầm 2 tiếng mới bắt đầu xong. Sau đấy thì 5 tiếng nữa mới lại bắt đầu lại tiếp tục. Mấy khi mưa ướt lá bầu, lấy chồng thợ đúc không giàu cũng vui. Nghĩa là thợ đúc cũng có lúc vất vả mà cũng có lúc đấy hay. Mình nặng đến từ cái viên đất nó sẽ lên một cái sản phẩm để ra thị trường đấy. Thì đồng tiền kiếm thì nó cũng không được nhiều, nhưng thấy cảm thấy là vui và sướng.
I think the main thing about the heritage and the culture in Vietnam that I enjoy is the people, how they embrace it. It's very important that people preserve this culture and this art of making different things, because it is a craft that will die out as maybe less people or children take over family businesses where they want to do different things rather than perhaps continue this sort of work. So it's very important that someone maintains this. There was a third village that I was very interested in visiting and finding out about the manufacturing process, and it was to do with the traditional toys which the kids often use and see for the full moon festival or the autumn festival.
Residents in Hào village, Liêu Xá commune in Mỹ district, the northern province of Hưng Yên, have been famous for making drums over the last 100 years. Despite times changing and difficulties in the market economy, they try their best to preserve and develop the trade.
Which was fantastic to see how that worked, because from one block of wood they can make 3 or 4 drums just with the lathe and very basic tools. Keep taking pieces of wood from the centre of that block, and they produce the drums with the leather over the top.
Joining any household, you can learn to make these traditional toys and soak in the Vietnamese countryside atmosphere, as well as get to know more about traditional culture in today's modern climate.
We found a small workshop where a lady uses a mould, concrete mould of maybe the monkey or the pig, the different animals from the zodiac system, and paper mache. So we had a go at that as well, and I was privileged then to be let into her house and take part in the manufacturing process.
Lấy hồ sa lên đây. Xé gần từng miếng nhỏ. Xé lên lớp nọ nó trồng lên lớp kia.
So you make sure that it's not
Covering and over the edges. Maybe this one we can't sell. We got the snout, we got the lips, you can see the ears.
Yeah.
Like we said, a little bit rough, but
Best start, right?
it's okay for beginner.
For beginner.
Can you ask her what she think of it for a beginner?
Cô ơi, bây giờ thấy cô thấy cái mặt nạ bọn cháu làm thế này đã được chưa? It's good, it's good.
Này là được 8 điểm rồi.
Great success.
And now take off. So the mask we did earlier takes at least half a day to a full day in the hot sun to dry, to make sure the paper mache is all gone hard. We've got these ones we've also prepared a little bit earlier, so now we're ready to paint it. We'll do our own design and have a bit of fun, yeah? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Let's do it right now.
let's go for it.
think this one of mine is dry too.
You just wash it off.
Wash it off. Absolutely, that's something.
What's that? Sorry. Thank you to the warm and wonderful people of Hung Yen Province. I've spent a lot of time here photographing over the last few days. I've been to traditional craft villages, learned about the culture, the history and the heritage, which I think is so important to this area. I've finished the evening off with some beautiful children, as you can see, and I've been able to experience some dance and some music, and I hope you enjoy my photos as much as I've enjoyed being here tonight. Come on.